showers for the weekend. Those rainfall chances a tad bit higher by next week.
Ooh, it is going to be an oven out there this weekend. Please be safe. And to everyone traveling, of course, safe travels and have a safe and happy 4th of July. News at 6 o'clock coming up next.
I'm here for you. I'm Nora O'Donnell with the CSED News.
Wherever I go, I'm always keeping an eye on the power lines. In my home of Puerto Rico, Hurricane Maria showed us what can happen with a weak and outdated power grid. So I became an electrical engineer, and now I work for Wrdw Power. We're investing in the latest secure technologies, and we're building the future of energy today. Our customers are counting on us for a modern and dependable power grid, and I'll be keeping an eye out to make sure they get it.
Yes, I'm on.
Make it for a limited time.
From our family to yours, have a safe and happy 4th of July.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Next on News 12 at 6 o'clock, President Biden firing back at the Supreme Court after they blocked his student loan debt forgiveness plan.
I think the court misinterpreted the Constitution.
Reaction from both sides of an argument that will affect a lot of students and grads here at home coming up.
Plus, with the summer heat kicking in, the city of Augusta is cutting down some trees downtown. We'll find out why. But first, we're tracking some high temps heading into a 4th of July holiday weekend. The heat index showing temps in the triple digits.
Plus, we are live at the Fort Gordon Independence celebrations happening now. As you can see, a lot of people are starting to get out there for those events. They've got the fans going because it is warm. Vendors setting up. But luckily, it doesn't seem like the heat is keeping anyone away. They're expecting a big turnout tonight in McAllen. Now they just need some good weather.
Well, Laura, it's definitely going to be a hot one for this weekend, so that's going to be the main concern. Rain chances are on the isolated to widely scattered side, so not look more about the hot and humid weekend ahead coming up in your full forecast.
Getting back to our top story, the U.S. Supreme Court striking down President's student loan debt relief plan. That would have canceled up to $20,000 in debt for 43 million people.
Out of that, 20 million would be debt-free. Now President Biden is responding, saying the fight is not over.
I'm announcing today a new path consistent with today's ruling to provide student debt relief to as many borrowers as possible, as quickly as possible.
Our Craig Allison live in our newsroom. And Craig, this ruling impacts hundreds of local college students and grads.
That's right, y'all. It's certainly hitting the wallet on monthly, potentially daily payments from some of the Augustans I've talked to today. While some are disappointed with today's decision, others say this was expected with a plan that was estimated to cost more than $400 billion. The news hitting some during this interview.
Probably going to call my friends here shortly and let them know, that what have they probably.
For others, just disappointment.
Me and a lot of my classmates were really excited and hopeful that something like that would pass. We've been putting in a lot of really hard work for several years in undergraduate and graduate school.
For AU's own medical community of graduate level students, it's a new reality on the already growing bill.
The biggest thing for me, as a student here, it's really expensive to go to medical school, dental school, any postgraduate education.
For others who already have their degrees behind them and on the wall, like attorney Chris Rhodes, to him, today's failure was expected.
A lot of student loans, that's a car payment, a mortgage payment. It's a substantial amount of money. So I think for a lot of people, it'll change their daily lives, daily income. When they budget, it'll change their budget.
He's been hitting his $10,000 loan year by year, but says the investment to his own education that led to his job was worth weighing the cost.
Yeah, I have student loans. Of course, it'd be nice to not have to pay that. But, I think that's everybody would like that better.
Biden says the fight's not over, mentioning a 12-month on-ramp payment program, which will temporarily remove the trait of defaulting on the loans or impacting the borrower's credit. In Augusta, Craig Allison on your side.
Okay, Craig, thank you for that.
Also tonight, a Grovetown 4-year-old dead weeks after accidentally shooting herself with what police say was her father's gun. Phoenix Daniels died yesterday morning at an Augusta hospital where she was treated for that head injury. Charges for her father expected to be upgraded now to second-degree murder. Grovetown police say Davion Daniels admitted he put the handgun on the floor while he went downstairs to take a phone call. Police say the gun was also illegally modified to be fully automatic. Right now, Daniels is charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, second-degree cruelty to children, and possession of a machine gun.
Senator Raphael Warnock is responding to the partnership between Wellstar and AU Health. He says he supports the partnership if Wellstar agrees to several terms. Some of the top items are Wellstar cannot shut down any services currently offered for 20 years. Wellstar would allow current healthcare providers freedom to stay in Augusta, to provide relief for patients with medical debt while making sure the partnership does not impact how patients pay their bills right now. You can find the full list of his comments on Wrdw.com. The McDuffie County Animal Shelter Director Wendy Ivy has resigned just months after she accepted the job position. We had the chance to catch up with her back in April. She told us she felt called to take the job. McDuffie County Community Development Director Jason Smith said she cited a need to spend more time with family. They've not named a new director, but they are in the process of looking. Back in 2022, the shelter shut down after facing allegations of animal abuse and mishandling records. The state did not find animal abuse, but they did find some discrepancies in the electronic record keeping. The GBI did look into those claims. At last check, the shelter is still not open.
If you drive through downtown Augusta today, you're going to notice dozens of tree stumps, big ones, where fully grown trees used to be. But a lot of people are upset. This once shady tree-lined roads, a signature of the Garden City, are now really bare. Hallie Turner live for us on 13th Street. So, Hallie, the city tells you they had no other option. What's that about?
Yeah, Richard, this area has been full of shade for years, and it's been enjoyed by many runners, dog walkers, bike riders, and more. But as you can see, all of that's changing this week as orange X marks on some of these trees, 24 total, like this, are coming down, and they'll soon look like the stump across the street. The city says if they don't act now, issues will only get worse, but community members are on the fence.
I know some of them are not healthy trees. Some of them do appear to be healthy.
Orange here, orange there, creating sawdust everywhere.
Augusta's called the Garden City for a reason, and part of that is the green space and the natural green historic feel of it.
But 24 of them are coming down, and for Sacred Heart, the trees make the money.
It's a big part of Sacred Heart. We maintain our gardens. We really want to make sure that all of our brides and the parties that happen here have that beautiful outdoor space to take those pictures.
And without them, the community worries about the impact it could have.
Downtown is really up and coming, but without those trees, it's going to be very difficult for people to be down here to walk around in sunshine and heat like we have today.
But the city says they are creating uneven sidewalks, curb issues, and more. If they don't cut them, more issues will come.
And after 4 or 5 years, the tree gonna die. I mean, then we have to come back not only take out the tree, but now we have to fix that area.
This is a large price to pay for progress, but 13th Street does need that restoration. Sacred Heart will be more easily accessible for those who approach from downtown on foot.
So city leaders say the best time to act is now, while the rest of the street is under a $3 million reconstruction project.
And for every tree cut, engineers say a new tree will go in its place, along with light poles, to fit the aesthetic they're going for. So once this comes down, along with the rest of them, again, that light pole will come along with a new planted tree, but it won't be right now. It'll be in the future. For now, the goal is to cut them down, repair what the damages are so far, and make space for new trees and those lights.
It's good to hear they're at least replacing those, but the ones around Sacred Heart, those are beautiful old trees in the heart of Augusta. Hallie, thanks for the update there. Going to give you some live pictures from Fort Worth. Their Independence celebration is going on right now. The gates just opening about an hour ago. The fun kicked off at 6 o'clock.
And you can expect some big-name live entertainment from Vertical Horizon and Bowling for Soup. They also have rides for the kids, food, of course, a firework extravaganza. This event ends at 11 o'clock tonight. They're expecting the fireworks to go off around 9:45, so plenty of time to head out there, but yeah, expect it to be pretty warm. Next on News 12 at 6 o'clock, the Tennessee Vols are getting a local 4-star recruit. We have more on Braylon Staley's commitment day in a moment.
And we are tracking dangerous heat ahead for the weekend. Heat index values over 100 degrees. Your full forecast coming up next.
time.
Well, as we just mentioned, the Fort Gordon Independence Celebration is going on right now.
And the gates just opened at 5, so people are starting to trickle out there. And any moment now, live entertainment from Vertical Horizon and Bowling for Soup, they'll take the stage. As you can see, there's rides, there's plenty of vendors, food, and fireworks start at 9:45 tonight.
Maybe an umbrella out there to keep you out of the sun.
That would
Might
not be a bad idea, yeah.
The hot weather also not keeping anyone away from the ocean. Here's a live shot there in the lower corner there from Myrtle Beach, courtesy of Earth Cam. A lot of people are going over to the beaches all along the coast, and hopefully they'll have decent weather.
Yeah, they really are dealing with some rip currents, though. Have you heard that down along the Gulf Coast?
Yeah, a lot of
be
people
careful if you're heading down there.
Yeah. That's right. You get caught in a rip current. You don't try to fight it. You let it take you, and then you swim
horizontal
to the coastline.
Right. But if you're not dealing with rip currents, you're going to be dealing with heat this weekend, Mikkel.
That's right. That's pretty sad to hear about the rip current situation across the Gulf Coast. Prayers and thoughts with those families for sure. But as far as in storms through next week.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
It's a decision Braylon Staley has been waiting to make. It's also a decision that Clemson, Miami, North Carolina, and Tennessee have been waiting for him to make. The 4-star recruit has finally decided on where he's off to next. The number 1 wide receiver in the state of South Carolina is off to Tennessee. At first, it looked as if Clemson was the front runner. Staley says the first visit to Knoxville was eye-opening. The second sealed the deal.
It felt like a family to me when I went up first visit, but I just wanted to wait a little bit, just go into my OV and see how I really felt. And then just really after photo shoot, I walked on the field with the coaches, had a conversation, and I just got that gut feeling, and I said it was time.
With this whole process, I've always told him to quiet all the voices around you. It doesn't matter what your daddy's favorite team is. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying that you should do. I told him that he has to trust the voices on the inside of him and what feels good to him. And so just watching him at Tennessee, he just lit up.
He is one of the first from Tennessee's 2024 wide receiver recruiting class to sign. Before he heads to Rocky Top, Staley finishes up his senior year at Aiken High. In Graniteville, Alyssa Lyons on your side.
First alert.
What it takes to protect.
A developer wants to bring a new shopping, dining, and lifestyle experience to Columbia County right outside of the Westlake subdivision.
In fact, construction is underway right now, but after the developer shared new plans to make the space larger, some neighbors were concerned.
Our Nick Veland live near the Westlake neighborhood. So, Nick, who's worried?
Yeah, Laura, well, you can see just the dirt behind me, soon to be a shopping center right outside the Westlake subdivision, and neighbors in this area and the surrounding area just aren't happy with what's to come. It's a 5-acre lot, looking to be full of restaurants, coffee shops, and retail. But some of the area are worried about more developments coming and ruining what they initially bought.
It can turn our dream home into a nightmare. If the property erodes, we can't sell it. If the flood zones change, we're not going to be able to sell it, and we're going to be locked in a home that no longer serves us and keeps our family safe.
Project doesn't have a retention pond because of a rule that says it's more effective to prevent floods not having a pond in place. Crime concerns also an issue. This is tainted Lauer's forever home.
It's not good for our community, and if we can't keep up with that, if we can't mow the spaces we have and maintain what we have, why are we putting stress on our resources when we can't keep up as it is?
The development backs into the Westlake neighborhood. Initial designs show a gate for neighbors to have their own access. Now their concerns has the developer holding off this part of the project for now.
I think in the future it'll be something that majority of residents will request. So I'm happy to just talk about that later when someone asks me for it versus me proposing it.
And the developer says that he's excited for the future of the area and neighbors will find it unique.
The live, work, play. A lot of people have a place to work and a place to live, but not a place for entertainment, restaurants, anything like that.
And the revision taking place will also include a therapeutic massage business as well as outdoor recreation classes. And the vote for that revision will take place on July 18th.
And we'll be watching that to see which way it goes. Nick, thanks for the update there from Columbia County. Okay, it's been a week now of cleanup after flooding impacted a lot of people, dozens in South Augusta. About 40 of 55 people who call the Red Cross are getting help from them or some other nonprofit.
But others are still in limbo. Our Wrdw reached out to the city today to see where things stand.
1 week later, and people are still staying in hotels. I reached out to numerous people with the city of Augusta since the flooding, looking for answers.
Hi, this is Audrey with News 12.
I contacted the city 3 times this week to see what their call to action is. On Monday and Thursday, they sent me the exact same response. Augusta, Georgia continues to assess the storm damage and flooding impacts. City officials have been on site speaking with residents to evaluate damage and directing them to the appropriate services. The Augusta Fire Department encourages residents to contact the United Way 211, Augusta 311, the Augusta Emergency Management Agency, and the American Red Cross. I also called code enforcement.
Or how many homes that were deemed uninhabitable after the flood.
But I'm still waiting for a response. Wrdw, on your side.
And News 12 did reach out to the city today, the third time this week, to ask what the plan was for the people who no longer have a place to live due to the flooding.
And we'll let you know just as soon as we hear something back from the city. Okay, let's head back out to Fort Gordon right now because our camera is really taking a spinning ride right now.
I think the one in front of him is going a little faster.
It looks like
Better
it.
speed it up.
I don't think he's spinning
Gotta
the
catch
wheels
ya.
as fast as we can there, but it's a good time out there. They're going to have fireworks this evening. The whole thing wraps up at 11 o'clock tonight, but we're going to wanted to take you for a quick ride there on your dinner break.
Yeah, if you get car sick, this might not be the live shot for you. But yeah, a really good time out there. It's going to be pretty warm, but the fireworks are expected around 9:45.
She's having much more fun than we are. I guarantee you.
She looks like she's having a good time.
Let's talk about a local artist, Addison Nide. You might remember him from our local Coca-Cola muralist. He came and he's done another masterpiece for us on a really famous piece of art in town. He's transformed the cup outside the old Dart Cup factory on Wrightsboro Road.
Today took to Facebook to say he's thankful to bring back the banner as a piece of history that everyone knows was there before. So there it is. It is now what we all called it, the Augusta Cup.
There it is. That's classic. Well done there. Looks great.
Looks fantastic, and shout out to our photog for taking a spin.
Yeah.
That was, our newsroom was electric just now. That's probably one of the greatest live pics I've ever seen. But the heat is going to be on for this weekend. We're tracking some dangerous heat at that. We'll talk about that one more time after a short break.
Life comfortably. Taking a look one more time. We are out at Barton Field for the Fort Gordon Independence Celebration. Great time out there. You see everybody having a good time. Hoping to catch a little breeze on that ride, but it is hot. They are going to need a breeze, Mikkel.
That's right, and maybe we can get a speck of rainfall. Probably not for today, but as we head towards the weekend, hoping that we can have a little bit of shower activity to help